the definition of a strong man.
I mean, they really sum that up because, like, you can't call yourself strong man and then like your home is weak.
Mm. Love that. Another one.
Teach me, well, teach me, bro.
Yeah, because first you have to set the example for if we can go outside and all that, and that's why I love the and one of the African proverbs I know from it says like if your house don't sell you, the screw won't buy you.
Mm.
Yeah.
Say that again.
If your house don't sell you, the screw won't buy you. So,
Hey yo,
like,
Jay, we're in the studio. I'm putting down the rap. That's for bars for real.
like, before anything happen, like your home have to be solid. Like and build yourself on a solid background. And like Jim said, and if you have a strong woman, like if you have like a really godly woman with you, and you know
Not
that
the feminist woman that we have.
yeah. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Yeah. So that mostly I just say it's like the home, like you said home, and yeah, pretty much that's it. Like he already summed out because when you ask the question, that's what I was talking about because that's the foundation like you have to build. Because if you don't have a solid foundation at home, you can be strong out there. Because
Let me just add something very quick that I just thought it is very important because I just mentioned feminist women, right? And I don't want people to believe I'm going hard on women, but my mindset my mindset is more like some women believe that because they put themselves at the same level as a man, that's kind of made them stronger. But that's not really the case, because I grew up in that mindset where, again, you are stronger because you understand your man. You understand when you have to talk soft. You understand when you have to remind him what they did wrong. You have to understand also maybe how to take control of the finances of the house. Usually it's a woman.
because
What also make the strength, right?
that's
I don't
where
know.
the strength come from. Because like women deal mostly with the emotional side.
Yeah.
They are the people that nurture. So like if the guy like earlier when Jones was talking about you thinking about protecting, providing and stuff like that.
Facts.
At the end of the day when we come back home, it's the woman like she's supposed to be there and know what her man going through and then hold him down and then be able to calm him down. Because like we have aggressive nature for men because
Get
like,
closer to the mic.
It's just us, yeah.
yeah, it's just something that is in us that we have to be physical and all that. So, but the woman is the one that's supposed to hold her down and all that. And if you have the both aspect all together, solid like that,
Strong
you
as
strong.
hell.
Yeah.
Strong as hell, bro.
For me, I'm gonna say what how you say how it means to be strong. And it's not about muscle, right?
Yeah.
It's
Facts.
not about
That boy hating already. Hey, this is barbecues. Barbecue ribs.
so like for me, what I believe, strong man, it's a man who like leads the family to a right place. So I don't know if mostly because in Africa, they used to say if let's say like I'm a son of the family and I'm making mistake, don't blame my dad for that.
Yeah.
They'll blame my dad. It's like, man, look what your son is doing. What did you do to him? Because they believe that my dad's supposed to lead me
Yeah.
to a good place.
Yeah.
So that's for me. I feel like a strong man is the man that it's not about. To be honest, you can have money, you can have the all the financial you can, but the thing is, if you can have that and still don't lead your family to the right place, you're not a strong man.
Yeah.
You should be a man of principles.
Yeah.
Facts, bro.
What's going on, James? I see you.
I just don't agree with that mindset of leading. I guess, yeah, I just don't agree with that kind of mindset of leading to the right place. What's the right place like?
Well, what I mean right place is like make sure your kid are going to school. They respect people, respecting people, and you know, because if like in this house there is no respect in this house, it can cause a big damage to the kid.
But again, I just disagree
Yeah.
in that sense. How is school related to making a man strong? How is again being respectful, connected to a man being strong, because you can instill respect in two ways: by fear or by example,
Mm,
right?
okay.
So if you go with that mindset, you can say, okay, I'm going to do whatever I can, to make sure that they are respectful. They being respectful, but that doesn't really go in that sense of like, oh, what way you're going to be, you're going to be taking. That's just a kind of why I kind of disagree with that kind of mindset of leading. Like being a parent is hard in general, because again, you can do whatever is right, out there, and then one day your son, your daughter go out there and meet the wrong people, the wrong friends, and then all the work you have been doing just come to nothing, maybe because they met. Again, that's just my mindset, right? Where that's why I disagree, basically.
So that's when you always pray for your kids for that not to happen. You know, they say that a woman, for me, that's what I know is a woman. She's like a river. Man, woman is like a river. She can come in your farm in your house. Let's say this is an example. A very disciplined woman,
Yeah.
but the mindset that she find a husband with, she can change
I get what he's saying too.
and becomes a totally different woman. Let's say example, she might come in your house that she was Christian or Muslims and she was respecting the religion and all that, and she find you as a drinker, you go to clubs all the time, and then if you influencing her, she will do the same. I've seen
It can happen.
look I know like
Right.
it can I've seen a lot of people that this happens, and I can give like I know ton of people that women that merits a wrong man,
Yeah.
you know.
Uh-huh.
So for me, that's what I say. Like I just said it in like all together. Like a strong man is that man that lead his family to a good place.
Yeah, but again, it could be both sided here, right? Where, you can be drinking, having like, drinking issues, and then you find a woman who's going to help you, finding the path, right? Again, the leading part doesn't have to be the man. That's just all what I want to say.
It don't have to
The
be
leading part doesn't have to be the man. It
no
could
more.
be the woman.
What you mean by the leading part? You gotta clarify that one.
You know what? Gotta teach me.
I mean, again, my only thing is just like, you know, a woman can find a broken man and fix him.
True.
I disagree.
I look.
Wait.
No.
Hold on now.
Look, look.
Hold on. Wait a minute.
Listen,
Wait a minute.
I don't
You
disagree.
said-
I don't disagree with you 100%. I'll say 50%. I disagree because look, most of the women that change their life is because of their husband. Oh,
So I guess you guys are disagreeing on what? I feel like everybody say disagree.
So yeah, make me understand. You feel like okay, to you anybody can be the
leader.
leader.
Yeah, he's saying like-
in a home.
no.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I don't believe it. I don't
No.
believe it.
No.
No,
So is it like have to be that one person at a time, or it's just like that? Because I don't know.
I mean, I just feel like, again, you can get into a house where, if you have the right woman,
Yeah.
right,
Mm-hmm.
she see your weaknesses, she see what you're lacking,
Mhm.
and she help you, getting better. She's now the one taking you forward. So that
Okay,
mindset of
but
being, yeah.
just because she's helping you doesn't mean like she's a leader. You know that, right?
That kind of is true though.
Just because she's helping you, she can mold you
That's what it is.
and all that, but it doesn't mean it's a leader. And for the most part, like I'm not saying women can be a leader or anything like that in any other field, but when it comes to home, you have to allow the men to lead. For the most part, because women they are mostly emotional, their feelings can change at any time.
Bruh.
So
Nah, he's right for real. Like,
You said, bro.
it's not an option already, but like, on the real note, right? Keep this, bro.
okay,
Because when you say like the women can lead, I'm like, all right, hold on now. This is not a video game. But bro, the men have to lead, bro, because like he said, we don't think with emotions, right? So when we making our decision, right, is we thinking because how is it going to impact my wife, me, and my kids, right, from home.
and
But
for the
women,
most part,
Yeah.
I do deeply disagree.
Okay.
no, we
Because
understand.
Let's think about it.
I
Let's think
understand
about it.
exactly
We've been
what you're
thinking.
saying.
My last argument. Right?
yeah.
Let's think about it very deeply.
Okay.
When usually we say the man is a provider,
Yes.
you know, he's the one bringing most of the time, you know, the resources, you know, most
In
of
the
the time.
economy, it don't really have
In-
to be
in-
there.
in
Right
this
now, it can
economy,
be
yeah,
yeah.
it's kind of
So
both.
we
Right.
can play that one like the
But-
role and all that.
The big decisions
Mhm.
in the house are being made by the woman.
I agree with you. On that
Wait,
because
wait. I
no.
disagree.
No. I know what you're trying to say.
I disagree,
No.
man.
Listen. No. I understand what
Give
you're
an
trying to say.
example.
I understand exactly what you're trying to
Give
say.
an example, bro.
Because no, here is the
Big
thing, right?
decisions, right?
You know that every time a man has to make a decision, he puts like the kid and the woman first, the kids in those decisions and make sure they are well served and protected. So that's why he's saying the big decision that we make. We make the decision though, but we have to bring it by our woman all the time.
That doesn't mean she made the decision, though.
No,
That's
that's what I'm
She's
saying.
just trying to
No.
make sure she with his
That's
decision.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
that's
I
all it
understand
is.
what you're trying to say.
No, but
Because whatever that is, right? We have to like run it by her. We have to run it by her because
As you should.
yeah, because
As
you
you
can't
should.
you can't just come and say that okay, we're doing this.
Yeah,
we're doing
but-
this. If she trusts in your judgment and stuff like that, it can come. She can like talk about her part
Right.
and say, oh, this is this. But at the end of the day, you tell her exactly how it's gonna go. And you know, if a woman trusts you, she will not argue or go against
Yeah,
that.
she follow.
This
So
is what-
that's why I'm
this is
saying
what
I
we're trying to
understand
say,
why you're
yeah.
trying to say that most of the big decisions are made by the woman because we have to bring it by her.
I
But
mean,
she's not the
I
one
don't-
making
we-
that.
I think you're wording it wrong,
We
though.
need
Like,
to hear
Yeah.
what you mean by that.
cause like
What
when
you
you
mean
say like the
by,
big
like,
decision,
it's made by
I
woman.
see it like
confused.
this. It's like the guy make the decision, right? But to finalize the decision, he needs his wife's opinion. That doesn't mean she make the decision though,
Yeah.
right? Because she can
No,
come up with her
yeah.
plans. He can be like, I don't think that's right, but this is what we're doing. I'm just letting you know. He want her input to see like, all right, maybe I can tweak it a little bit to kind of like make it better. But he's not saying that she's making the final decision.
Me personally,
Yeah.
okay. Personally, I think because I'm
Wife is upstairs.
yeah. These guys.
Hey, that's what y'all set you up.
Choose your words wisely. Choose your words wisely.
Me personally, because I'm a very traditional man, right?
Okay.
So personally, I believe that men's are leaders, right? They're the one to lead.
75.
Exactly.
They're the one to lead.
True.
But guess what? A leader is someone who takes advice. A leader is someone who
you,
listens.
bro. You need
A
support.
leader is someone who peeps what the people around you, what is needed for me to make that work. And that's when, as in my family, in a couple, I'm listening to my wife.
Yes.
I'm listening to my
See,
kids.
that's what I'm saying. That's what
You
you're
know,
trying to.
But I'm
Yeah,
saying he
I'm-
wasn't
No,
wording
no,
it right, didn't word it
yeah.
right, right?
Yeah, I'm listening to my wife. You know, I'm listening to my wife. I'm looking at my kids, listening to my kids. And then I get those inputs that they're giving me, right? All the information they're giving me. And now I start thinking on the grand scheme, okay, this is what I want to do for the family. I'm not changing my end goal, but I'm going to try to see how this end goal can serve them very well.
Compromise.
Exactly.
Compromise.
So that they can build. Now, it's very important the point that you bring in, because I was watching this one. You guys know Middle Ground? There's this show on YouTube, they call it Middle Ground, where they bring two groups like who have opposite like ideas, and they try to find
Common ground?
yeah, they try to find a common ground, kinda. And there was that question. There was a question like where they were saying that, okay, should men be the leader in a relationship, or both party can lead?
No, that's not a question. A man have to be the leader all the time.
Yeah, they posed that question because it was 25 conservative guys, like 25 like traditional men, and then 25 like liberal men. And the liberal men were like, 50-50, the women can lead, the men can lead, but the traditional they were like, no, like
99% they think they're gonna break up.
now
That doesn't go right.
now where I hear what you're saying, right? Where I'm hearing what you say, it's like, okay, there can be some broken men who are not efficient, right? They can find a woman who can build them, but the end goal will be what? For that woman to help that man to become the leader that he needs to be.
Thank you, bro. That's how it is. He wants him to lead.
That woman.
I'm not trying to cut you off, but you paid me for about 1 hour 30 minutes. I think my 1 hour 30 minutes.
Hey, that boy contract, so you gotta renew it.
Thank you for being here, Will. Drive safe. Oh, you need to go with him, right?
Nah, I probably will,
Okay. Thank you, Will, man. Thank you.
Nice to meet you, bro.
I'll send you the payment.
Nah, send it to my phone. I'm gonna pay him.
Yeah. So. Brother, you too. So I do understand there's some men who are not equipped. There are some men who are still finding themselves to get to that place to be leaders. And I feel like if they found a serious and very good woman, that good woman is gonna mold that person, gonna mold that man to be able to get to the point where he's got to lead. Because as you can know, bro, a good leader, like you cannot just move just by your emotions. And I'm not saying that there's no woman who cannot be logical, because like especially in this modern age, there's some women who have been pushed to be even the father, to be that father figure.
Yeah.
And it's not working because that's not their job really. But they're pushed because they're a single mother. They have to step up and they have to do that.
Yeah.
And it's hard, and you can see
It's really, really hard,
you
man.
can see the repercussion
hard.
because that's not what they were built for, So I do hear you, but for me personally, like I said, being a traditional man, the man, he's there to lead. Now, is the man already always a good leader? No. But they need to get there.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Oh boy. Well, I'd like to come out and say I'm not married. So I'm not in a I want to clarify that before I give my opinion.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm not, as informed as you guys. I'm enjoying hearing your guys' perspective because this is good for me to know.
Yeah.
While I
You're still figuring it out.
Right, still figuring it out.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, about this, I agree with the traditional view.
Mhm.
I think like when I was thinking my answer to the original question, which was what is a strong man?
Yeah.
I was thinking of two things, both from the Bible. I was thinking about Adam.
Mhm.
And so I was thinking about someone who described it as simply like, right. And I just read this, I think it's in Genesis 3, it's the fall. And the serpent deceives Eve, right? But it's very clear in the text that it says that, she gives she gives the fruit to her husband who was with her. So Adam watched Eve eat the fruit in sin, and God called him responsible for it. Yeah. So I think as men, I think there is a responsibility. Like it's about headship. It's about chain of command, basically.
Yeah.
So basically, like, and when you learn about when you learn about the fall, like God. So originally, God is up here, and then you have the next is going to be man. So God gave man the decree to name all the animals, right? So He gave us dominion over the earth. Then God said that it's not good for him to be alone.
Yeah.
He created Eve as a helper for him. And then next would come the children
Offspring.
of the family, and then it would come creation. So
Yeah.
it would be everything else that we have dominion over.
Yeah.
When the fall happened, the authoritative order was reversed. So the creation, the snake, deceived the woman, who deceived the man, who in turn, tried to deceive God. And so I think as men, we have we have a headship, we have a responsibility over our family. Now, I get what you're saying too, because there are prodigal sons, right?
Yeah.
And there's going to be situations where, and as men, we're all still sinful, we're all still flawed. And so there's never a perfect father except for God.
Yeah.
And so we're all going to make mistakes. And at the end of the day, when we send the children out into the world, they're going to have to make their own decisions.
Yeah.
And so I think you can prepare them as well as you can. That's kind of my take. The second thing I was thinking about was just sacrifice. The other big word I was thinking about as a man. Now, I think that's more in the strong category, because I think women sacrifice a lot too.
Yeah.
But I think to be a strong person means to sacrifice and to serve.
Yeah.
So you're giving up your time, you're giving up your resources. It's less about you, and it's more about the people who you are serving.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that would be my 2 cents.
I agree with him.
How I agree with him.
He's a hater.
I don't know if you guys know this word that people say that when you have kids, the life is not about you anymore.
Yes.
Yes, bro.
That's
Yeah.
nice.
Andrew, can you come here? That way we can
I
make
love,
it.
I love you.
You got a new contract.
Yeah. You got promoted.
This guy.
I hope everything you say don't come out on the podcast. I hope you muted.
Hey,
I hope you muted.
it's contagious.
I hope you muted.
I mean, I do love the way you interpreted the Bible, right? You took some reading, here and there, and then you put it very nicely. That's nice.
I'm about to drop kick you, James. I'm about to drop kick you, James.
And then something I think I told you before is that it's my big belief, right? Something about the Bible is very much open to interpretation.
This guy with that.
Right. I think you read the Bible and you understand the Bible also based on your background, your culture, and why I'm saying that is just the big conflict between Israel and then and Gaza today. It's all about the Bible and how some people interpret it and some others do interpret it, right? That's what I do believe. It's very much open to interpretation and then based on your background. I think you guys are right. Maybe I didn't express myself properly. I think the man is expected to be a leader, and I think the way you describe the leader completely makes sense, right? The right leader is the one who inspires, but also who knows how to listen. Listening.
Yep.
And I think maybe that's why I kind of made more where you have to be able to understand, listen to what your woman is saying, listen to what your kids are saying, listen even to people maybe around you, right? And being able to get all that information and try your best to make the right decision. But that doesn't also take on the side the fact that, there will be a situation and many situations where, in my opinion, right, you're going to find a man who potentially, I could say is broken, and then it's a man and the woman behind was going to help him be, the person he needs to be, and then maybe for some time potentially take the decision. But again, I just didn't agree with your kind of description of leading to the river or leading to whatever, because again it's just very empty as a statement because it doesn't say much but say everything at the same time, right? But yeah, that's what what I wanted to say.
Now I agree with him. Now I agree with you, James. I don't want to complicate you. I'm trying to consider everything now.